Hey guys, welcome back to Horse Biz Success. It is Leah here, your equestrian tech guru. And today I'm going to show you how you can automate the process of filling your canceled lessons or appointments. We've all been there. You have a day full, booked completely full of lessons or appointments back to back, and you get the dreaded text either the night before or the morning of that somebody has to cancel or they can't make it. And it's really difficult when you're back to back in appointments to start sending out texts to people and trying to fill that spot so that you don't have this weird gap of wasted time in the middle of your day. And so I'm going to show you a process that we can set up in your HorseBiz automated account that is going to help you get texts and emails sent out to your clients, so that way when that appointment does get canceled, it's automatically going to trigger an email that's going to help you get that lesson filled by your clients. So let's jump into it. All right, there is a little bit of setup involved here, so bear with me because once you have it set up, you won't need to do it again. But just keep following along with this video and pause when you need to. And I've got some instructions for you below as well so that you can look at those if you need them too. So I want to preface before we get started that in order for this automation to work, your lessons or appointments will need to have been booked within a calendar in your HorseBiz automated account. So your client would have needed to book the session with you in one of your calendars in your HBA account in order for the trigger to actually work. So that's just the first thing that you need to know. So our first step to getting this process started is actually that we're going to need to create a custom value. So we're going to go over here in our settings and then go down to custom values. Make sure you choose values and not custom fields. And then in custom values, we are going to create a new custom value. And we're going to want to name this so that we remember exactly what it is. So I would call it client contacts. Contacts, or you could call it in-person client contacts, however much detail you need to add to remember what this custom value is called and what we're going to use it for. Then in your value here is where it's a little bit tedious, but you're going to need to enter in any of your clients' emails that you would want to notify that you have this open session. So if you've got 12 people at your barn who take lessons with you, you're going to want to put in all 12 of their email addresses in the value here, and you're just going to separate it by comma. So Leah at HorseBiz Automated, and then I'm going to add a comma and add my next email. So you're going to do that for all of your client emails that you would want to notify that a lesson spot has opened up. So once I have all of their emails in here, I'm going to hit create. And that is going to give me a new custom value that I can then, it gives me a new key right here that I can now use to create our automation. So now that we have that set up, we're going to go back into our main page here and go to automations and then create a new workflow. And we're just going to create this one from scratch. And then we can call this workflow whatever you need to stay organized, but we'll say lesson cancellation or fill cancel, whatever you need to call it in order to know exactly what it is. So the first thing we'll do is set up our trigger here, and our trigger is going to be appointment status. And so this is why it's important that you use, that you are only booking your lessons within the HorseBiz automated calendars, because what's going to trigger this email to be sent is when an appointment status is changed to canceled or no show. And so that is going to then trigger an email to be sent out to all of your client emails that were set up in that custom value, notifying them that you have an open appointment, and giving them a link to a calendar so that they can jump on and just book that appointment right from that email. So you can change this if you need to, for your triggered name, if you want to call it, canceled appointment or whatever. But we have to add a couple of filters here. So the first one is going to be event type, and that can stay as normal. And then we're going to add another filter and choose appointment status is. And then you're going to select whether you want it to be triggered if you do no-show or canceled. And so I'm just going to choose canceled here because that makes the most sense in this situation. And then we're going to add one more filter, and we have to choose what calendar the appointment is going to be canceled from. That's going to trigger the automation. And so if you have a lesson calendar where all of your in-person clients book their lessons from, and that's the calendar where if that appointment is canceled, it's going to trigger this workflow. So that's the calendar you want to select here. So we're going to choose in calendar and then select which calendar it is. And so I'm going to choose this lesson/treatment booking calendar as an example. And then we are going to go ahead and save the trigger. So now we have our trigger set up, and we're going to add our first action. So I'm going to hit the plus button, and our first action is going to be an internal notification. And this is where our custom value is going to come in and be important. So the type of notification is going to be an email. If you wanted to send texts, you would have to set up a custom value with the phone numbers of your clients, and then choose the internal notification to be SMS. The from name and the from email, that's up to you. It's probably going to be your name and your business email address. And then we are going to choose the user type, and that is going to be custom email. And so then we come in here and we, under this to custom email, and click on the little tag here and scroll down until you see custom values, select custom values, and then you're going to scroll through and find whatever you named that custom value. So I named mine client contacts, and I'm going to select that. And so that's going to pull all of those email addresses automatically that are within that custom value, and that's who this email is going to get sent to. So then we can put in our subject line, last minute opening, or lesson opening. We'll just call it last minute lesson open. And you can either choose a template if you have a template already set up, or you can create a message down here. And this is where you would just type in your message of, hey, I had a last minute opening today at 2 o'clock, whatever. And you're going to want to also just include your calendar link right there to book it, so that you don't have to wait for somebody to text you back and say, oh, maybe I can make it, blah, blah, blah. They just have to click on that link and book straight from your lesson calendar. So this is exactly how you would set that up. If you wanted to send out several emails, you would just, can't save my action without filling in everything else here, but you would just add additional triggers that would have this exact same format. So the action would be an internal notification, it would be an email, and then you'd use that custom value again to send out additional emails to your clients to try and fill that last minute appointment that you had open up. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them below, and we'll be happy to get back to you. But I hope that this will be helpful.